I call the member Fraser.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and can I thank the member for Riverina for freeing up an extra 2 minutes for me with his speedy speaking. The United Nations General Assembly designated June 23rd as United Nations Public Service Day. In the words of the UN, it's a day to celebrate the value and virtue of public service to the community. Public servants make an enormous contribution to the Australian community, and as a member for a seat based in the ACT, I have the privilege of representing, meeting and working with a large number of public servants. Public servants form a significant portion of my community. And in my electorate of Fraser, we also benefit from a continual influx of people moving here to take up opportunities to serve the Australian public. We see this passion for community translated into a great benefit locally, the ACT having higher than average rates of volunteering and participation in sports and recreation, two indicators on which we top the nation. But, Deputy Speaker, very rarely do we stop and appreciate the hard work performed by Australian public servants. Australian public servants have performed extraordinary acts. They headed into flood-affected Brisbane to make sure that people received their government payments. They developed a fiscal stimulus package to get us through the global financial crisis. They're in Australian workplaces, making sure that Australian workers have good conditions. They're keeping infectious diseases out of the country, and they're finding the most effective way to price pollution to protect our environment. None of these would be possible without a public service to develop and implement policy and programs. We'd all still be stuck with old-fashioned ways of running our economy and our society if it wasn't for public servants who continually review and refine what we do now and develop innovative approaches to public policy. And I'd like to commend the Crawford School of Public Policy for their work through the H.C. Coombs Policy Forum in developing better policies. Deputy Speaker, Australia is at an exciting point in our history. The government is looking to the future to develop policies that will shape our place in the world and the way we look after the most vulnerable. Australians joining the public service today have the opportunity to form and influence Australia's future. This ties in with another aim of UN Public Service Day, which is to encourage young people to pursue careers in the public sector. Every year, thousands of young and not so young people move to the ACT to take up jobs as graduates in the Australian public service. I encourage all young Australians to consider a career in the public service. In doing so, they will be able to help address the challenges of today and inform the decisions we make for Australia's future. Deputy Speaker, UN Public Service Day is also a time for us to reflect and recognise that an efficient and effective public service helps to achieve international goals as well as national ones. The Australian public service is one of the most efficient in the world, which is how we are able, as a medium-sized power, to have a strong voice in the international community. One of the things Australia does best as part of our foreign aid strategy is assisting countries such as Papua New Guinea, the Solomon Islands, East Timor, in setting up transparent, accountable public services. Knowing our foreign aid dollars will be managed for the benefit of the entire community is important. We also know that structures of government are a vital part of a robust democracy. Assisting with good governance is of long-term benefit in our region. Deputy Speaker, successful nations are underpinned by successful public sectors. Those nations who were most successful in the last century did so due to the fact that they had a capable public sector. In fact, progress as a nation is virtually impossible without a committed public service. It's vital for our region, for Australia to continue to be an example, to provide practical assistance to those countries most in need. We are fortunate in Australia to have a public service offering frank and fearless advice to governments of all persuasions, and it is time we all took a moment to thank our hard-working public servants.